my God, where have you been all my life? And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I didn't find you sooner. I'm not even kidding. I feel like I've been living in black and white and someone just turned the color on. Because right now, in this exact second, I feel like we just sat down across from each other at the little table, just the two of us, knee to knee. And I need you to know something before we even get into it. This is going to be a tete-a-tete, okay? This is not a lecture. This is not me talking at you. This is me talking with you. Close, low voice, like we've got secrets to tell each other. Let's get real for a second. Just you and me. And yes, I'm so excited right now, I can barely sit still. Like my voice are actually a little shaky. And I want to say to you, because I've been waiting. I have been waiting to have this exact conversation with you, and I didn't even know it until right now. Seriously. Seriously, where has this been all my life? Okay, deep breath. Both of us. In and out. Put your phone down flat on the table for a second, even though you're watching this on your phone. I know. Just set it down flat, turn the sound up, and let's just be here for a minute. Can we just take a collective deep breath? Because what I'm about to say changes everything. Here is the thing. When I say, where have you been all my life? I don't mean it in the cute little way people say it when they meet somebody at a coffee shop. I mean it like this. Imagine you've been working on a massive, complex puzzle of your life for years. You have built the edges, filled in the sky, but there's this one nagging hole right in the center. You've looked everywhere, eventually given up and deciding maybe it's just meant to be incomplete. And then, during a random storm, you look down and see that missing piece sitting right there in a puddle. It's a mix of, how did I miss this? And thank God I have it now. That's the reunion we are having right now. There is a version of you that has been standing quietly in the corner of your own life for years. Maybe a decade, maybe longer, waving, trying to get your attention. And you kept walking right past. And today, right now, in this conversation, that version of you and the version of you sitting here watching this are finally in the same room. I owe you guys an apology for not bringing this to you sooner, but we are here now. That's why I'm sorry I didn't find you sooner, because I could have told you this 5 years ago and saved you 5 years of shrinking. So let's talk. Tete-a-tete, just us. We're diving deep today, no fluff, just the soul level truth. You know that feeling, and I need you to sit with it, sit in this for a second instead of scrolling past it. You know that feeling where you're lying in bed. Maybe it's early, maybe it's the light hasn't even fully hit the ceiling yet. And for like 30 seconds, before your brain fully boots up, before the to-do list loads, you feel this pull, this appetite, like a little flicker, or I want or not I want coffee, not I want to sleep 5 minutes more. I mean a deeper want, the kind that doesn't have words yet. And then right on schedule, your brain clicks on and goes, oh wait, that's not me. I don't get to wait things like that. And you watch that feeling get quietly unshared out of the door, like someone closing it soft so it doesn't slam. And you don't tell anybody about it. Have you ever had that moment where you want to jump for joy and kick yourself at the same time? You've never told anybody about it, but you miss it. The second it's gone, you miss it. And you don't even fully know what it is. I know that feeling because I've lived it. And if you're sitting there right now nodding, even a little, even just your eyebrows moving, that's exactly why I'm so glad you're here. Because this whole conversation is basically me handing you back that thing you kept quietly closing the door on. This is that moment we all dream about. Here is a concrete one for you. And tell me if this doesn't hit somewhere in your chest. You are at a get-together. Somebody says something funny and the whole group laughs. That specific laugh, the way that means it actually landed, not the polite one. And you had something, you had a line. You felt it forming in real time, the setup, the timing. You could almost feel how the air in the room would shift if you said it. Your body knew it before your mouth did. And then you didn't say it. You smiled instead. You became the audience, the nice one, the safe one, the one who makes everybody else feel good about their moment. And nobody in that room noticed what you gave up. Because how could they? You didn't even let it exist out loud. But you noticed. You walked out of there with two feelings stacked on top of each other. Relief that you didn't risk it. And this quiet, hollow ache you understood perfectly but couldn't put into a sentence. I was today years old when I finally realized how much easier life could be if I just spoke up. And I want that for you too. And here's where it gets strange, okay? Stay with me, because this is the part most people skip past. That ache isn't really about the joke. The joke is just the trigger. The ache is about every single time you've made yourself smaller so the room could stay comfortable. It's a pattern with your name on it, and it's been running quietly in the background for so long that you actually think it is your personality. You think, oh, I'm just a low-key person. I'm just not that outgoing. I just don't need the attention. And listen, I love that you found a peaceful story to tell yourself about it, truly. But some of that story is armor, not truth. There is a difference between calm and quiet on purpose. And there is a difference between contentment and a habit of disappearing. Forget everything. Forget everything you thought you knew about your personality. Because we are rewriting the script. Let's go a little deeper. Because I promise to you real talk. like a tete-a-tete style, and I don't do the surface level stuff with people I actually care about. And I already care about you, weirdly, intensely, after knowing you for like 4 minutes, I guess. Yeah. Think about how many times you've been the one absorbing everything else's needs. The friend who remembers everyone's birthday but quietly notices nobody remembers yours the same way. The one who says, I'm fine, don't worry about me. So automatically, it doesn't even feel like a lie anymore. It just feels like a reflex, like blinking. Yeah, like blinking. You have built an entire operating system around making things easy for other people. And here's the peak of it. Here's the sentence I need you to actually feel and not just hear. You have gotten so good at being needed that you forgot how to be wanted for exactly who you are underneath all of the accommodating thing. Sit with that for a second. Don't rush past it. I know what you're thinking. Is it really that bad? And the answer is no, it's worse because it's invisible. Okay, breathe. I'm not leaving you there, I promise. That's not the kind of tete-a-tete this is. Here's the release. Here's the shift. And this is where the metaphor starts. So hang on to this because it's going to come back around at the end and it's going to hit different the second time. Think of yourself like a garden that got planted way too close to a fence. Every single plant does this thing where it grows away from shade toward light. It's not dramatic. It's not a big decision the plant makes. It just naturally bends the way the light gets it bent. You did the same thing. As a kid somewhere, somehow the light, the attention, the approval, the safety was over there in the direction of being agreeable, being helpful, being low maintenance. So you grew that way, not because that's your true shape, because that's where the light was. And here is the insight I need you to catch. A plant that's been growing sideways for 20 years toward a fence isn't broken. It's not defective. It's just been growing toward whatever light was available. Whatever, yeah. And nobody's ever moved the fence to check what happens when there's room. That's you. You're not broken. You're under lead. It's like I found the cheat code to a level I've been stuck on for a decade. And I just want to hand it to you. Now, here's the second trigger. And I want you to really feel this one because this is the second door we are opening today. And we are going to come back and close both these doors together before we are done. So keep this in your pocket. Think about the last time you actually asked for something. Not hinted, not, oh, it's fine, whatever works for you. But straight up said, this is what I want. This is what I need. Feel how your body reacted just imagining it. For a lot of people, and maybe for you, there is this tiny flinch, this bracing, like you're getting ready to be told no, or worse, getting ready to be a burden. That flinch has a history. It got built somewhere, maybe from being told, you were too much, maybe from watching what happened to people around you who asked for things and got punished for it, one way or another. Maybe it's just from being the one everybody leaned on so early that wanting things for yourself started to feel selfish by comparison. If I could go back and whisper this into your younger self's ear, everything would be different. And I'm telling you now so you don't have to wait. And here is where I need you to lean in even closer, because this next part is the deepest part of our whole conversation, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. I'm sorry for that too. And that's exactly how you know it's real, actually. The real cost of all of this isn't that you don't get what you want. The real cost is that you've slowly, quietly stopped being able to tell what you want at all. You've been so busy reading the room, managing everyone's comfort, predicting what's needed before it's even asked, that your own wanting has gone kind of static, like a radio station that used to come in clear, and now it's mostly fuzz with a few words breaking through. And that is the loneliness kind of quiet there is. Not being alone, being surrounded by people and still not being able to hear yourself. I need you to know something, and I need you to actually receive this instead of just nodding at it. That static isn't permanent damage. It's a signal problem, not a broken radio. The station is still there. It's just been drowned out by years of other people's frequencies. And the second you start turning the dial back toward yourself, even a tiny bit, even just noticing, wait, do I actually want this? Or am I just avoiding conflict? That station starts coming back in clearer. This is the second reframe, and here is plain. It is plain. You don't need to become a different person. You need to turn the volume back up on the person who's already there. I've been keeping this for a bit, not on purpose, but I had to make sure it was the real deal first. It is. And I'm handing it to you now. Remember when I said you were a garden growing sideways toward a fence? Here is where that comes back around, because gardens don't need a personality transplant to grow differently. They just need somebody to move the fence, or cut it down, or plant them somewhere the light comes from more directions. That's maintenance. That's not reinvention. And remember, that second door I asked you to keep in your pocket. The flinch, the bracing before you ask for something. Here's what changes everything about it. That flinch was trained into you by specific moments, specific people, specific situations. It was learned, and everything learned can be unlearned slower than we'd like. Sure, but it can be. You are not permanently wired to disappear. You were temporarily trained to. That's a completely different sentence. And I need you to actually let that land, because it changes the whole story you've been telling yourself about who you are. I'm too emotional today, sorry. This isn't just another tip. This is a total paradigm shift. Can I give you one more example before we get the part where this all comes back together? Because I think this one might be the one that actually gets you. Think about the last time somebody asked you, hey, what do you want to do this weekend? Or where do you want to eat? And your first reaction, honest to goodness, was, oh, I don't care, whatever easiest for everyone. Now, here is the question underneath that question. Did you actually not care? Or did some part of you scan the room first, quietly, calculate what would create the least friction and answer that instead of answering for yourself? Because those are two completely different sentences, even though they sound the same coming out of your mouth. I don't care, and I have trained myself not to notice what I care about because it's easier this way. Land in the exact same 4 words, but only one of them is true. And I'd bet good money it's not the first one. I feel like I just found a $100 bill in an old coat pocket. But better, because it's the permission to actually have a preference. Yeah, this is the pattern hiding in plain sight. It doesn't look dramatic. It looks like ease. It looks like being low maintenance, easygoing, chill. And other people love it. Genuinely, they love how easy you make everything, which is exactly why this pattern is so sneaky and so hard to catch, because it gets rewarded constantly. Every time you say whatever works, somebody smiles and says, you're so easy to be around. And that little hit of approval quietly tells your nervous system, good job, good job. Keep doing that, keep disappearing a little. It's working. Nobody's punishing you for it. Yeah, that's what makes it so hard to unlearn. It's not painful in the moment. It's only painful later, alone, when you realize you haven't picked a restaurant in 3 years and you genuinely do not know your own favorite anymore. So here we are, back at the title, back at where we started, because this whole conversation, this whole, oh my God, where have you been all my life thing. You get it now, right? You get what I've actually been saying to you this whole time. Because the you I've been talking to isn't a stranger I just met. It's the version of yourself that got quieter somewhere along the way and has been waiting patiently, politely, for you to come find them again. That's who I'm sorry I didn't find sooner. Not you, the person watching this. You, the person underneath the accommodating, the one with actual opinions, actual wants, actual edges that got smoothed down for other people's comfort. That's who this whole video has secretly been a reunion with. And now that we have found each other, you and that quieter, realer version of you, the excitement isn't really about me and you talking. It's about you finally sitting down across from yourself for the first time in a long, long time and going, oh my gosh, oh my God. There you are. I've missed you. My jaw literally hit the floor when I saw how much I had been hiding from myself, and I know you're about to feel the same. I feel, and here is the cruise of it, the deep truth that ties our puzzle piece back to the garden. You spent so long watering the weeds of other people's expectations that the flowers of your own desire wilted from neglect. But that missing piece of the puzzle was never lost. It was just waiting for you to stop looking under the couch and to start looking in the mirror. It was waiting for the rain, that messy, emotional, often uncomfortable downpour of self-awareness, to wash the dirt off it so you could finally see its shape. That storm of realization we just walked through wasn't a tragedy. It was a universe. It's the water that lets the garden finally grow straight. Because now you know exactly where that piece goes. It doesn't belong in the corner of the frame. It belongs right in the heart of the picture, completing the image of who you were always meant to be. Okay, now let's land this. Because I don't want to leave you mind feeling. I want to leave you with something you actually use tomorrow morning, next Tuesday, 6 months from now, when you forget everything else from this conversation. Here is what I need you to walk away with. You don't have to overhaul your whole life to start hearing yourself again. You don't need a dramatic before and after. You just need to start noticing the moments, small, boring, everyday moments, when you are about to swallow a wand to keep the room comfortable. And instead of automatically swallowing it, just pause for 1 second. That's it. 1 second. 2 seconds. You don't have to say the thing out loud yet. Just notice that it's there. Notice the joke you didn't say. Notice the preference you didn't voice. Notice the I'm fine that wasn't fully true. That noticing is the light hitting the garden before from a new direction. It's small. It's not going to feel like a movie moment, but it's the actual mechanism of change. And every single person who eventually became someone who could ask for what they needed started exactly there, in that 1 extra second of noticing. Trust me. You are going to want to stick around for this, because your future self will thank you for every one of those seconds. And here is the part that matters most. The part I want to ringing in your ears after this video ends. The version of you that stays small is safe, sure, but safe isn't the same thing as alive. And you already know the difference. You've known it since that Sunday morning feeling you couldn't name. The version of you that starts even shakily, even imperfectly, letting your own wanting exist out loud, that version costs you something. Some comfort, some predictability, maybe a little friction with people who got used to the smaller version of you. But that version is home. That version is the one that gets to feel the pull on a quiet morning and, instead of watching the door close on it, actually walks toward it. It's the one that picks up the puzzle piece and slots it into place with a satisfying click. Yeah, finally feeling whole. So this is where I hand it back to you. Tete-a-tete, close and honest. No big dramatic push. Just the plain truth sitting on the table between us. You get to decide, starting today, which version of yourself you keep feeding. The one that grows sideways toward whatever light other people give you permission to have. Or the one that starts slowly turning toward its own light for a change. Welcome to the inner circle. Let's talk. And I'm so genuinely, ridiculously happy we had this conversation. If any part of this hit you, if there was a moment where your chest did that little tightening thing where you thought, wait, that's literally me, I want you to tell me. Drop a word. Feeling anything down in the comments, because I read every single one of them. And I want to know exactly which part found you. And if you know somebody who's been quietly disappearing, the way we just talked about, somebody who always says, I'm fine, don't worry about me, just send them this. It will help. Let them have their own little reunion too. Where have you been all my life? Genuinely. I'm not letting go of this conversation, and I hope you don't either. Let's keep talking. Let's keep doing this tete-a-tete for real, because I have a feeling this is just the very beginning of us actually getting to know each other. The real one, the one underneath all the smoothed down edges. And honestly, I wouldn't want to spend this excitement on anybody else right now. Thank you for sitting down across from me today. I will see you in the next one, and I already can't wait.